Alright guys, so we're back from inspection. We passed. We are street legal, registered, and insured. So, in this video, we'll put on all the fun stuff. We'll do some air intake piping, move the battery to the trunk, put the nitrous in, wheels, tires, coilovers. Alright, so I've been trucking along on the to-do list here and gotten some stuff installed. I got nitrous controller installed. I figured out something for the air pipe. I just found a silicone and a chunk of bend from leftover from the turbo car that seemed to work perfectly. I've got the nitrous jet installed just underneath there. I got the catch can installed, got my filter on. If you're curious to see how this runs, so we got fuel in, that comes from over here. We have tapped into the test port of the fuel line, if you're curious to see how that works. We've got the black line down there at the bottom, runs over to right there, and that comes up to be the little metal straw for a purge, so I can make the nice little psh, psh cloud. Because, I mean, what's the point of having nitrous if you can't go psh, psh, and spray it everywhere? I mean, that looks like the fun part. So, we've got all that pretty much done. I'm working on the wiring. This is the switch wire that goes up for the purge solenoid. I've ran the battery to the trunk. Obviously, there's no battery left in here, so I've got my two junction blocks down here. Power cable is run through the firewall. We'll come around. I have the battery mounted in the trunk, some connectors on the end. I got the nitrous tank mounted where the back seats should go. The nitrous line is run up right to the controller. I got the nitrous pressure sensor plugged in and that wiring all wired up. So I'm currently in the middle of wiring, and I figured I'd do an update now because I may as well. Everything has been smooth sailing up until now. And now things have gone not so smooth sailing. So what I'm trying to do is I want to figure out how to mount the button for my nitrous onto the steering wheel. And I originally wanted to just kind of clamp a button to the stock steering wheel, but I couldn't find anything that did that I'd be able to get my hands on fast enough. I'm sure they exist, but they're probably going to take forever to get here, and I'm running out of season. So I figured, well, I'll just take that steering wheel that I got with the turbo car, because they had this nice Momo unit on there. And I was like, well, I wouldn't mind using that. I can either drill a hole in here or do whatever to put the nitrous button. So I went on Amazon and ordered up one of these things real cheap, which this thing's fine. I like it. It's okay. We can put that on, blah, blah, blah. The button will be where the button is. So this is the adapter that was on the turbo car. Now I figured, well, I pulled it off of a Saturn, so it should easily go on to another Saturn. So this is still the shell of the turbo car, and you can see that, well, that steering shaft is clearly splined, and that is clearly splined to match it. And this fits on here without a problem. However, I didn't know this. I just learned this, that the steering shaft somehow changed from first to second gen, and it is now not splined, it is run with flats. So, this no longer works with this car. So I have to figure out how to adapt that steering wheel to there so that I can put a button on the steering wheel. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna quickly draw up an adapter. And I will just go down and I will have Buddy Joel quickly fab me up an adapter that will run with these two flats, and I should just be able to bolt it on. I'll have it stand off. I'll even have this still on the car. And I'm going to actually try to run the button wiring through this wire spool so that the wire that runs the button will be able to turn with the steering wheel, just like these wires that come out onto your steering wheel for your horn button and your cruise control and all that stuff. Also, I want to try to figure out a way to retain the cruise control. Now this is just a wire. Don't worry, that's not that bad. It's not really that scary. It's just ribbon wire or flat wire. So what I'm gonna do is I've ordered up some flat wire, and I'm gonna try to spool some of that in here too. I'm not gonna try to tap into this existing stuff or add a circuit to this existing wire. I'm just gonna add some more of this stuff with the wires to the button all spooled up around in here like this. And then I'll just pop a couple holes in the front case and the back case and then run the wires down to where they need to go. So that is my current plan. And I really hope it works, but that's where we're at so far. It looks like it'll be a pretty quick video with just a couple updates here and there, as I, install things and try to make a video out of it. So I'm kind of standing still until I get this all made. I can get some wires run, but I'll get the coilovers on, and I still don't even have my tires yet. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious now this thing is not going to drive before the snow flies. It's looking like it'll be a real challenge to get it done and ready to go before snow starts flying. So, but she'll be ready to go for next year, bright and early, right quick. As soon as the snow is gone, I can get her out, and I'll be happy with that. I'll just be a long 5 months of winter anxiously waiting to drive my hot rod. But that's where we're at now, and I'll be back probably with a solution in the next scene. Alright, so I've carried along with the wiring. I got the micro switch installed on the gas pedal, and there it is. I took the gas pedal out of the car to do that. It was a lot easier, and then I just made it touch the floor, or made it engage when the pedal touched the floor by bending the little rod. So that's all installed, and that's all wired in. We have our purge button. We have our nitrous system on off switch right there. So we're all good there. Now, I drew up an adapter and I gave it to Joel. He is making it. So we'll have a steering wheel as soon as he's done making that adapter, which should hopefully be next week. And I rethought about my idea of running thin wiring through here. Well, I already am not running an airbag anymore, so there's 2 wires to use. So I'm just going to use these to run the nitrous button that'll be out on the steering wheel. And then I'm going to run these wires out, and I have a little plate being made with the adapter so that I can mount my cruise control out there as well. So hopefully that looks all good. So that's being made. But in the meantime, the only thing really left to do is to put on the coilovers. And this is what I went with for the coilovers. So they're a set of BC Racing. Now, I know a lot of the community likes to go with the Raceline ones, mostly because they're cheap. I decided not to, mostly because there's no customability with them. And they're made for a Subaru, which is a good 800 to 1,000 pounds heavier than a Saturn. So I decided I'd go with BC because they'd let you customize your spring rate and your valving. So I have the spring rates and the valving set a lot more to the weight of a Saturn. So I'm running a 5K up front and a 4K in the rear. So if you basically wanted to match the H&R springs, it'd be 4K in the rear, 4K in the front. So I'm a little stiffer up front. They are 16 click adjustable dampening or hardening or whatever adjustable on the coilers themselves. So, but either way. And then also I had buddy Joel, again, make me custom plates just like I did with my airbags for the wagon. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. I'll put it up in the corner. So I had these plates made at the exact same time. So these will just bolt right in for me today. This is going to be real easy. And the only other thing was, you notice I got the rad out. Yeah, a couple of the tabs that I made that I JB welded on broke off. So I'm just... I didn't scuff the surfaces or anything when I JB welded, so I made sure I went and scuffed the surfaces real good, and I'm gonna try JB welding them again, and if they break off again, then well, I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get those things put on. All right, so coilovers are all on, and I've let them sit for about a week and a half. They're not adjusted because I haven't put the wheels and tires on, and I'll adjust them to fit the wheels and tires that are going on the car. But they're on there, and yeah, she's pretty low, even sitting on the stock ones. Alright guys, this isn't how I wanted to end the video, but that's how I kind of got to end it. So, I still don't have a steering wheel adapter, and I got the black car under the cover, and the white car is back on its winter tires, so that can only mean one thing. Winter is coming. In fact, today is like the last day in the positive temperatures, so it looks like this is getting put on hold until spring. So, I was really hoping I'd have that done and ready to go for at least the end of the year, but I guess first thing next spring, we'll quickly finish it up and pick up where we left off. So, yep, that's the end of the season again. And the white wagon is back on its winter tires, and there's the stack of tires. I got my black winter one ready to go. Just gotta get an alignment on it on Tuesday and ready to go. And the wife's 96 is all covered up now, so it's the end of the year, guys. And I'm disappointed that I didn't get everything done the way I wanted it to, but sometimes that's just the way life goes. But I got a couple of videos planned for over the winter, so hopefully I won't be gone entirely until spring. I've only really got 2 videos planned. I'm gonna bore and sleeve another engine block, and I'm gonna show you guys that one. And I'm gonna do a head job, and I'm gonna do guides and seats and everything in one of these heads. So I got a couple of videos planned, so stay tuned for that. But until then, I'll see you guys in the spring.